Hello everyone, it's me again and I have another test for you today. We're going to do Emsisoft Anti-Malware Home Edition and it's going to go up against TrendMicro Antivirus Plus. Okay, so let's quickly have a look at the settings for Emsisoft. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is the portal. So we're going to look at the protection. Okay, so file guard, and we set it to thorough and quarantine with notification for both PUPs and malware detection. Web protection is enabled with a block with information. All categories we set to block. Scanner settings, very much that. We have one exclusion for our script. And then the notifications are enabled, automatic updates, the intervals, we set it to 1 hour. Advanced settings, self-protection is enabled, and that's about it. We just didn't do the password protection. So Windows Firewall is on, and yeah, that's pretty much that for Emsisoft. I think while I'm here, let me quickly disable the protection. Okay, looks like it's saved. Okay, so as you now can see, protection is disabled. On the TrendMicro side, let's quickly have a look at our protection settings. Okay, so also pretty much everything is enabled. We also set it to hypersensitive to give us maximum protection for this test. Scheduled scans are disabled. Web protection, we just left it on normal with everything selected on that side. The script is excluded. Under other settings, we set extra security, network, smart, and that's about it. Under our let's do privacy first. So as you guys can see, privacy protection. Under our ransomware protection, it is enabled. We just left these folders. We didn't select any other folders, so we're just going to focus on these two folders. Let's maybe add downloads. Yeah, let's just add downloads. Okay, so now that is done. Okay, cool. So I'm going to quickly disable the protection for these two products so I can get the malware extracted, and then we'll start this test. Okay, so we are now ready to start this test. We have 3,382 samples today, so quite a high number of malware we need to do, and yeah, that totally seems like a legitimate malware by its installation. Okay, so we do obviously have quite a lot of applications as per normal, but we do obviously have a couple of ISO images, fileless malware, PDFs, browsers, or HTML, Office documents, shortcuts, VBs, yeah, and zip files. So nice flavor of malware. Okay, let's quickly enable Emsisoft. Okay, just waiting for the page to load. It's taking a bit long. Let's go back. Okay, so let's get the protection going. We'll do. Oh, did I close the? Yeah, I did close all the malware. Just want to make sure. Okay, so file guard, give that a second, and then we'll do behavior. Okay, so as you guys can see, all the other settings are still the same. Okay, this should be now green. Okay, so we are green. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. We're green on this side, but just so that you guys can see the settings on the endpoint itself. Okay, so behavior blocker is enabled. Web protection, file guard, same, also thorough. Okay, so it matches the settings. Let's quickly update them. Okay, so let's get the protection going on this one. Hypersensitive. Apply. Okay, so Emsisoft is up to date, so it's nice, quick and easy. Okay, so let's wait for TrendMicro. Okay, as you guys can see here, all components are up to date. Let's move this one back. Okay, so let's close this and close this. Okay, so now that the Java update's also done, so now we're obviously going to do the first website test. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, so Emsisoft is already complaining and blocking, so that's really good to see. Still waiting for Trend. Okay, so keep that. Okay, so we're still waiting for TrendMicro though. Okay, let's try it again. I'm not sure if TrendMicro is actually killing the script because there's no pop-up. Okay, on the Emsisoft machine, seems like we do have quite a number of block pages, so that's good to see. Okay, that one was missed. Not sure why. Smart screen, but I did disable it. But yeah, doesn't seem like it's that bad. You can definitely see it's opening and then closes, so I'm suspecting it might be TrendMicro, but there's no notification though, so that's pretty odd. Okay, so it seems like it was just a memory leak, so I just had to clear Edge from the memory, and now it is working. Okay, so let's see what happens. Okay, so it seems like a lot of the files were removed, so that's good to see. Okay, so Trend is actively busy. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, so it's blocking all the scam websites. Okay, so it seems like we're done. So keep, see what happens. Oh well, that's 800 meg, that's gonna take a while. Okay, so as you guys can see, it does have the shield icon on the folders. But we do have more stuff that downloaded. These were obviously the files I used to install Trend. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so let's quickly wait for this download and then we'll see the final results. Okay, so the file's almost done downloading. Let's see if Trend is going to stop it. No threads found. Okay, so let's look at it all. Okay, so according to this, oh, it says IO bit, so okay, so I would say Emsisoft definitely did better than TrendMicro in this aspect. I think that's a clear indication, because even you can look at the threads. So yeah, we can see the threads that it found, file guard. Okay, so we can see that it is actively showing, so that's nice. Okay, so now I think it's time for the main event. Now we're going to test the real strength of these products, because it's high sample count, so it's a lot of malware. A lot of these vendors rely on signatures and behavior and things like that, so let's see how well these engines are optimized. The only thing I don't like about Emsisoft is this malware pop-up thing in the middle. You can't seem to move it. So it's a little bit in the way, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, there's a PowerShell. Let's just minimize it. Okay, no malware running as of yet. TrendMicro already has one malware running here. Okay, cool. There it killed it off, so that's good. Another one is loaded. 00BA, so that's one. It's suspicious. We can say delete. Okay, there it's done. Okay, there's only one that's now being submitted for Emsisoft. Let's say run. Okay, PowerShell still doing its thing. Okay, so we only have this one malware that's running in memory, so let's see what it is. 32. Okay, so let's see. There's another one, so let's check that one. See if Trend has anything. Nothing for Trend so far. Already have two malware for Emsisoft. Okay, it's just taking long to load. Okay, so the 32 one, let's see what this is about. So it's also a Trojan. A couple of companies are aware of it. Don't see Emsisoft, so that's obviously why it's running on the machine. TrendMicro seems to be aware of it. But TrendMicro is a bit behind. And let's look at this one, 23. Also no Emsisoft on this side. Okay, so it's undetected. Okay, so that's interesting, guys. So now you can already see that malware is slipping through. I'll close that. Okay, so they're still running. Okay, so there we deleted it, so it's out of memory. It would have been nice if it did it on its own, so now it's obviously user dependent. Okay, so obviously Emsisoft is giving us a lot of pop-ups here. The only benefit that I can obviously see from this pop-up is it's literally the user cannot miss it. Maybe sometimes with the pop-ups in the right and bottom corner side, users might miss it or just dismiss it, where this is a little bit more in your face. So maybe that is a little bit better, but obviously for malware testing it's a bit annoying. But from a user perspective, I can understand why they do that. Okay, so the samples here are, I would say, 90% the same as what we tested with Acronis and Komodo. With the only difference obviously is with more recent samples added to that. So it's exactly the same malware that Komodo and Acronis faced off yesterday, with the exception of the more recent samples added as well. Okay, so it seems like Emsisoft actually did kill them off, so that's good. So they were running a little bit and then they were gone, so that's really good. Okay, so we have another one running here. We'll see if that gets killed off. I have also noticed the malware that tends to be from the zip files tends to be really nasty malware. That's normally when I've seen where machines get infected, is right after I've executed malware from zips. So that tends to be where the nasties are. Not always, but that's a good indication that malware from zips tend to be really nasty. Then we've already got 4 samples running, so that's okay, so that's nothing. And yeah, okay, so ChatGPT, that is one of the ransomwares. So this ChatGPT is masquerading as ransomware. That I think was the same sample I ran with the other vendors I've tested that was recently ransomware infected. Comes from that, or comes from one of the ChatGPT ones, I think. It says it's a Python shell code injection. But yeah, as you guys can see, not a lot of vendors are aware of this. AVG, ESET, and yeah, that's pretty much that. So okay, as you guys can see, it's already interesting. We already have some form of malware that's already running on the machines. Emsisoft, and it seems like we've got 1. TrendMicro, we've got 3 samples. Let's look at the one with the 4 before I let you guys go. Another 2 being loaded here. I'm just moving Process Explorer a little bit more to the left because of this huge pop-up, and we can just see what's happening. Yeah, there's the installer. Okay, so this is a game hack, security crimes of ESET. So it could be fairly new, or just a PUP as ESET labels it. Yeah, we'll close that. Okay, so still 2, 3 malware running in the processes. Okay, yeah, so I think that's going to be a really interesting test. Still waiting for this one. Okay guys, so yeah, I'm not going to bore you guys. I'm going to tend to all these pop-ups and what have you. Obviously you guys know if there's anything weird or interesting or worth showing, I'll point it out. But otherwise I'm just going to tend to the malware, execute everything, and then yeah, so hopefully the test will run smooth without any hiccups, and I'll let you guys know once the test is done. Okay guys, the test is done. Sorry it took a bit longer than I was hoping it would. Okay, so you guys will notice that we have ransomware infection on the Acronis machine, and this is obviously the last message that we had from our friends. So you guys will see here, so it's a little chat box. I'm unable to open up Process Explorer. We have a high CPU usage on Explorer for pictures for some reason. Okay, so you'll see that obviously our files are encrypted. Obviously the machine is slow because of the encryption. Okay, so you guys will see all our stuff is encrypted. Now I transferred the files to the TrendMicro machine, so just bear in mind this is not ransomware infection on the TrendMicro. So I just transferred the files because I was unable to open browsers and get to any internet access, so I had to use TrendMicro to see what ransomware it is on the Emsisoft. And yes, as the last time, I think it's kind of funny to ransomware got past your antivirus, and we have an Emsisoft, and yes, the ransomware infection is on the Emsisoft, so I find this quite funny. Yeah, so it's stopping deja vu again. So for the guys who've been following the channel for quite some time, normally if there's ransomware infection, it's normally a stop or deja vu variant of the ransomware. We haven't seen that many other types of ransomware. Predominantly it is stop and deja vu. Okay, so I just used the TrendMicro machine to see what ransomware infection we have on the Emsisoft machine. Emsisoft also for a short period kind of went away from the task manager, and I had to open it up again, and it came back up again. Pop-ups also didn't want to display, so it's kind of like I wasn't sure if it was tampered with, but I did manage to get it open again. So let's look at our startup items. Okay, so it's busy loading, and I must say Emsisoft actually did really well. There was a point where I was like, hey, it's doing well, there's not that many malware running in processes, so it could be that the ransomware infection only started later on, whether it was one of the previous or earlier samples, or it could be that the last bit of malware slipped through, and then obviously had the ransomware infection. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it was doing well for quite some time, so I'm actually quite disappointed. I was really thinking that Emsisoft is actually going to survive this test, but unfortunately not. Okay, so we obviously have all these startup items. Let's see if we can get one open. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so program files, obviously this seems to have installed, but yeah, you can see we do have quite a bit of startup items, so yeah, that's sad to see that Emsisoft has lost this test. Let's look at any programs. Okay, so Crystal Disk, we've seen this one also before, and Moon Launcher and Cytex. So yeah, so not that much that we can see under this section. Okay, now it's time for TrendMicro, so I'm just gonna delete that. So those were the two files I just needed. So yeah, so good to see. It seems like TrendMicro survived ransomware at least, or by the looks of it. I haven't seen any infection. File seems good. Picture seems good. And yeah, our downloads seems good. Okay, cool. So that's actually good to see. So let's have we obviously do have all these things that are still open here that we can't really close. Let's see what. Oh, and Process Explorer is also not opening on the Emsisoft machine. So let's see if we can find anything weird. So these ones do definitely look suspicious. So yeah, there's definitely malware running on this machine, I would say. Doesn't look clean at all, so this is not how a healthy machine should look like. So let's close that. Let's have a look if anything installed. Okay, so we have Brave. I don't think that's the Brave browser. We have Cisco AnyConnect, MS Stable, SiteTech, sorry, and that's it. Okay, cool. So not that much. I don't actually think we looked at the startup items. Okay, so the TrendMicro machine is also significantly slower, and as you see, we do still have some malware pop-ups. And yeah, it seems like we do have a couple of startup items here, so let's see. Just waiting for it to load. Okay, so as you guys can see, we definitely have startup items. Let's have a look. So it is a bit slow, so just bear with me. But yeah, just on the eye, you guys can see we definitely have these items here. The Cisco one, this disk soft bus service. So yeah, so that's a JavaScript temp. We obviously have iTop screen recorder. We have this Microsoft register, Microsoft Excel. Yeah, that's definitely Excel. That's totally legit. Text file. Let's see, what is this thing? Okay. So yeah, so it's not looking good for TrendMicro either, but at least we can't see any ransomware infection. But yeah, we've seen it also before. You might not have it now, but it tends to creep up later. But yeah, I don't think there is. Okay, so I'm gonna restart these machines. I'm gonna use this restart computer. I don't think it's gonna help, but I'm just gonna do it via the Emsisoft pop-up, and I'm gonna restart this bad boy normally. And then I'm going to say restart here. Going to restart TrendMicro. Going to get them both updated, and then we'll start the full scans. And the final test. Okay, so the full scans are completed. Sorry for the long delay. TrendMicro triggered an intense scan, and that took intensely long to complete, but we are finally there. Okay, so with Emsisoft there were 46 threads that were detected, and it wanted to restart to remove them, which I've already done. So I've done another full scan, and as you can see, it can't find any more threads. On TrendMicro, 2,183 samples were detected. It finished the full or the intense scan on this one. I did notice another ransomware infection on this machine. As you guys will see, that our wallpaper has been changed. So according to this one, this is Sage 2.0. I personally have not seen this ransomware as of yet. And then there's our little joke. So yeah, so this seems to be a new one. So that's Sage 2.0 ransomware. So yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna restart them again so that we can get the third-party opinion scans going. And once they're all done, we'll look at the final results. Okay, so let's wrap this test up. Now we have Hitman Pro on the left, and obviously picked up Moon Launcher. We have seen this one before as well. Then on the local temp, so we've got contemporary files here, and then directly under Windows, and we've got a couple of files here and suspicious. So not that many still left on the machine, but obviously the damage is done. With Hitman Pro on the TrendMicro machine, we obviously only have the Opera browser, and then we've got this Java, and then the auto run for Internet Explorer might be suspicious. So either it could be a fake one, or it could have been some form of injection. Norton has 9 problems here, and they all seem to be only medium. So Moon Launcher again, App Data, Local, Desktop, Process Explorer, but that's obviously infected. And then yeah, a couple of files directly under the user profile, and then we obviously have a couple of tasks. We'll close that one. TrendMicro has a couple of high malware here. App Data Roaming, Microsoft, Windows, menu program startups, a couple of startup items. There's a couple of things in downloads. We've seen MS Stable as well. That should be then under the programs. We'll close that one. Okay, Command Quick Scan. Found 4 problems. Registry key entry, a couple of App Data locals. Did no Komodo scan because it was encrypted. Funny enough is Kaspersky Quick Scan found no issues, so I'll close that. Kaspersky Quick Scan found a couple of problems here. So here's a worm. So Java agent. So yeah, so here's a couple of issues on this machine. Okay, on ESET, couple of problems here. So then that Moon Launcher. So obviously these ones are now removed. That's why I run ESET scanner last, because it automatically removes the threads. So I always run the ESET scanner after I've done the other opinion scanners. So now these files have been removed. And then on the TrendMicro machine, we obviously have a couple of problems here. So after restart, so after we restart machine, these 2 files will then hopefully be removed by ESET. So I'm just going to close it. Then on Malwarebytes, we have 1,572 issues, but we've seen that the our host before, so it counts every individual file as a separate infection. So yeah, program data, system files. So there's quite a couple of things here. Just gonna quickly go through them. Desktops, obviously it's picking up the ransomware infected files, but that's actually quite interesting. Although the file is infected, it's still picking it up, so that's pretty good. And then we've got a couple of registry key entries, startup items. So yeah, so definitely still badly infected. TrendMicro, we've got program data. There's also Trojan. App data. There's a text file under the user profile, a couple of scheduled tasks, and quite a number of registry keys that's been added. Okay, we'll close this. Let's have a quick look at what is still installed. Okay, so we still have Crystal Disk, still have Moon Launcher, but the 1.exe has been removed by ESET. And then we've got the SciTech and obviously Opera browser. Here we've got Brave, then we've got the Cisco MS Stable, that was also rated as malware, the SciTech, Opera browser, and yeah. I just want to see, finally Process Explorer did copy. I was waiting for it, but I eventually gave up. But eventually it looks like it did open. Let's look at Process Explorer on this side. Okay, so while we wait for Process Explorer, so obviously downloads. Okay, there's nothing there. Documents, as you guys can see, even the help file was encrypted later with the with the deja vu. And then pictures, yeah, obviously still infected. Okay, downloads folder. Okay, so we still have a couple of malware here that's not been removed. Documents seems good, no infection, but we do have this additional folder. Okay, I'm not gonna go into it. Pictures, and yeah, picture seems to have survived, so that's good. So let's quickly have a look at Process Explorer. Okay, TrendMicro machine. Okay, so I think that's that. Let's close all these error messages. Let me just close all these notepad files. Okay, let's have a look at our startup items. And Task Manager just seems to have closed. Let's try again. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we've seen this issue again. So Task Manager has definitely been tampered with, so there's definitely infection. We can't get Task Manager open. Keeps closing on its own. Okay, so that's not good at all. So let's see if we can do it this way. Okay, startup entries. So we obviously have Windows still active. So yeah, and then we've got these programs here. Just want to see if there's any additional users running. Okay, I think I've signed in twice. Okay, yeah, so as you guys can see, not good results from Emsisoft. Sadly enough, every time when I have tested Emsisoft, it's never been really good results. I kind of put it into the same level as Malwarebytes. But yeah, it was doing really, really well, and at one stage I was like, hey, Emsisoft is going to prove me wrong today. It's going to give us good results, because it literally at the end started falling apart, but it did really, really well during the majority of the test. But yeah, unfortunately, Emsisoft has lost ransomware infection, and yeah, our data is destroyed. But yeah, as you guys can see, it did remove a lot of threads, but yeah, it was all in vain. So unfortunately, Emsisoft did not pass this test. TrendMicro, not very good results from TrendMicro either. It did survive ransomware infection, so that's always a plus. That's always the biggest one, if you can survive ransomware infection at least. But yeah, machine is still badly infected. Every time when I do restart the machine, there's definitely a lot of pop-ups that I've seen. I see TrendMicro has to restart here, most probably for malware infection. Let's see what it does. But yeah, so we definitely have startup items. We definitely have a compromised machine. So mixed feelings with TrendMicro. It's obviously infected, but I think it still did okay. I think that's the highest rating I can give it, is okay. But at least it did do much better than Emsisoft. But yeah, machine is still infected, so not really that great results from TrendMicro. As a latest program update. Yeah, why don't they release the latest program update before we start the test? So yeah, so I'll obviously test TrendMicro again, because obviously I have a valid license for it. But yeah, so I hope you guys found this test informative. I think it was, but yeah, it clearly shows the difference between the two products. So between these two, I obviously use TrendMicro. It does provide a little bit better protection, but still not super great. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the test. Share and like if you guys want, and I'll be working on the other tests. But until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next test.